Dave Wilsey, we're at Sawyer on the Fond Du Lac Reserve, and I just came across a program called 13 Moons. It's an effort to teach people traditional skills on the Fond Du Lac Reserve. It's part of a partnership between the tribe and the University of Minnesota Extension. What does 13 Moons refer to?
13 moons refers to the 13 moons that you find in a typical year. There's 13 lunar cycles. Despite the fact that we have 12 months, there's an additional moon. And so the program is designed to follow the pattern of the lunar cycle, the lunar calendar. And for each lunar rotation or lunar cycle, we do a workshop that relates somehow to that moon cycle. And so the various moons might refer to natural resources or to cultural practices or traditions that happen throughout the year. And so we inform the programming by what that particular moon or lunar cycle is referring to, and use that as a starting point in developing a workshop.
For instance, tonight is storytelling. I think the Indian word for that is Etizokan. What's storytelling? Why is that important this time of year?
Well, the moon actually, we're coming into the hard crust on the snow moon, and it doesn't necessarily connect directly to the storytelling, but the storytelling is an important cultural event, and it's something that can only happen when snow is on the ground. And so, again, I said that we use the moons to inform what the workshop might be, but it may not directly connect to the name of the moon. And so we wanted to make sure that we took advantage of the time when the snow was on the ground to bring people together, talk about some of the traditional stories, and just provide an opportunity for people to interact and talk about these things.
Looking at your pamphlet, which is very nicely laid out, there's teachings about netting coming up. There's teachings about how to preserve deer meat. In August, it looks like you have Manomiki Gizish, which is the wild rice-making moon. What do you teach during that time of year?
It depends a little bit. We have only about an hour or two usually in a workshop to put something together and bring people together. So we're a little bit limited in terms of what we can do in one given time. The storytelling event that we're at right now is actually an exception. It's a number of hours. But on a typical month, we do a 1 or 2 hour workshop. So in the fall of last year, we made cedar rice knockers. We had a workshop on traditional parching of wild rice. We did a workshop on smoking whitefish. So we'll just go through one element of these different processes. If we can, we'll get people's hands on the product or the process, give them a chance to try it out. But most importantly, we try to bring somebody from the community in who's knowledgeable about these things, who can demonstrate and tell stories and share their experience in history with an activity or a process or a resource. I'm never the instructor for these classes. I just happen to be involved in setting the classes up.
Okay. So we have maple sugar time coming. How do you say that in Indian? What's the name of that month? Do you know?
I don't know what it is off the top of my head now.
Okay, but that's coming up. What will you try to teach during that period?
Well, we're going to try to do something with conservation techniques for tapping maple syrup. So some of the new styles that are out, are smaller diameter and allow the trees to heal a little bit more quickly after the tapping season ends. And so one of the things that Resource Management Division at Fond Du Lac wants to promote is this idea that trees can be tapped with a more tree-friendly tap, and it allows the tree to heal quicker and recover faster and be retapped again in the next year or the year after that. So that's an important teaching for this year.
Why is this project important to the community?
Well, I can't say for sure why it's important to the community, but I can say that the impression that I've had thus far is that people really appreciate the opportunity to learn from people within their own community and to honor the traditions and the teachings that have been carried on through the generations. And so this workshop series, or this program 13 Moons, has given us the chance to highlight the people who have good skills and knowledge, put them in front of their peers, and share what they know, and people seem to appreciate that.
Okay. I want to thank you for talking to us about this.
You got it.
This is Nick Vanderpy for IndianCountryTV.com.
Thanks, sir.
Miigwech.
Miigwech.